Chapter 9, Master of the Animals. The Sabertooth crept forward. Jack stared in horror. "Play the flute," whispered Annie. "Is she nuts?" Jack thought. "Try," said Annie. Jack held the mammoth bone flute to his lips. He blew. The flute made a strange sound. The tiger froze. He glared at Jack. Jack's hands shook. The tiger growled. He took another step. The mammoth roared and stomped the ground. "Play it," said Annie. "Keep playing." Jack blew again. The saber-tooth froze again. Jack kept blowing until he ran out of breath. The tiger snarled. "He's still here," whispered Annie. "Keep it up." Jack closed his eyes. He took a deep breath. Then he blew as hard and as long as he could. He covered and uncovered the holes on the bone. The music sounded strange, as if it were coming from another world. "He's leaving," Annie whispered. "Bye, girl," he said. "Go home now and watch out for the saber-tooth." The mammoth walked away into the sunset. When Jack couldn't see her anymore, he started up the rope ladder. He pulled himself into the treehouse. "Ta-da!" said Annie. She handed the Pennsylvania book to Jack. Jack smiled. Now he was positive they had found the third M thing. Their mission was complete. "Before we leave, we have to give our coats back," said Annie. "Oh, right," said Jack. They took off their reindeer skin coats and dropped them to the ground. "Brr," said Annie. "I hope the Cro-Magnon people find them." Jack stared out the window. He wanted to take one last look at the prehistoric world. The sun was setting behind the hills. 4 people were crossing the snowy plain. It was the Cro-Magnon family. "Hey!" shouted Annie. "Shh!" said Jack. The Cro-Magnons stopped and peered in Annie and Jack's direction. "We left your reindeer skins down there," Annie pointed to the ground. The tallest person stepped forward and raised a spear. "It's time to go," said Jack. He grabbed the Pennsylvania book. He found the picture of Fog Creek and pointed at it. "I wish we could go home," he said. "Goodbye. Good luck," Annie called, waving out the window. The wind started to blow, and the treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster. Then everything was still, absolutely still. Chapter 10, This Age. Birds sang. The air was soft and warm. "I hope they find their coats," said Annie. "Me too," said Jack. He pushed his glasses back into place. Squeak! "Hey, you! How did you find the sorcerer?" Annie asked Peanut. Squeak! "It's a secret, huh?" said Annie. She turned to Jack. "Where's the flute?" He held up the mammoth bone. Then he placed it on the M carved into the floor of the treehouse. Next to the mango from the rainforest, next to the moonstone from the time of the ninjas. Mango, moonstone, mammoth bone. Annie said, "We just need one more M thing. Then Morgan will be free from her spell." "Tomorrow," said Jack. Annie patted Peanut on the head. "Bye, you," she said. She started down the rope ladder. Jack gathered his things. He paused and glanced at the mouse. She stared at him with big brown eyes. "Thanks again for helping us," he said. Then he climbed down the rope ladder and jumped to the ground. Jack and Annie ran through the Fog Creek woods onto their street. Their neighborhood looked rosy in the sunset. It's great to be back in this age, Jack thought. Warm and safe and almost home. "I'm glad we don't have to go hunting for dinner," he said. "Yeah, Mom and Dad already did that," said Annie, "at the supermarket." "I hope they trapped some spaghetti and meatballs," said Jack. "I hope they trapped a pizza," said Annie. "Hurry, I'm starving," said Jack. They ran up their sidewalk and through their front door. "We're home for dinner," shouted Annie. "What's for dinner?" shouted Jack. What's it look like they have for dinner? Spaghetti and meatballs. Yummy. Okay, 1A, that's the end of our book of the Magic Treehouse Sunset of the Sabertooth. So I will start a new one next week. Bye, 1A.